Classic, huh, Keith?
Yeah.
Brunson holding. Knicks trying to wait till the end. Brunson puts up a three. Bang! Jalen Brunson hits the three with 4.3 remaining.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another special video presented to you by Top Bunk Sports. I'm your guy, David from Top Bunk, and I'm gonna get straight to it, man. You guys see it right here on the thumbnail. You guys see the thumbnail right before clicking this video. May or meh, first 2 months of Juan Soto. The talk of Juan Soto's first 2 months as a New York Met. No matter how you put it, y'all know the topic of this video, right? And I'm gonna get straight into it because this conversation has a lot of people talking, has a lot of people, coming out with different opinions, different narratives, right? I've seen narratives from a whack ass radio station that I'm not even gonna name talk about how his contract is looking like a bad one, and we're only 2 months into the season. Maybe if it was 5 years into the contract, okay, but 2 months in, 5 months in, 10 months in. It's come on, man. It's a 15-year fucking contract. We gotta fucking slow it down before we start going into what's a good contract and what's not a good contract. I don't give a fucking damn. You know what I'm saying? The market was where the market was at. And people have to understand that. Whether you have your opinions about it or not, people gotta understand that. I don't understand why people wanna throw these, you know, narratives out just for clicks. You look stupid. You look stupid. So, obviously, people have been waiting for that big moment for Juan Soto, and he's had plenty of opportunities to do so and hasn't done it, right? But a lot of people are wondering, is Juan Soto, is he regretting his decision on signing with the New York Mets? Has he maybe had doubts ever since he, came to Yankee Stadium last week, and when he played in the Subway Series and started reminiscing with with his former teammates and remembering the vibe that he had last year and stuff like that. Who knows? Who knows what it is? Who knows what he's feeling? Who knows w- how he's what's in his mind? Who knows what the conversations are in that clubhouse? I mean, I got a thing right here, right? So you got the great Michael K. And I don't mean great as he's great, because you know, a lot of this shit that he says, whether people want to, make him to be a legend because he's been a Yankees broadcaster for so long, for Yes Network, and people want to make him seem like he's the GOAT. That's cool. I got my GOATs. I got Gary Cohen, I got Ron Darling, and I got Keith Hernandez, who I believe are way better and way funnier. But that's a whole different topic. He went on his radio show, the Michael K show, on Monday, right? This is recorded May 20th, 2025. So this is recorded around 5:51. So we got about almost an hour before the Mets game starts, game two, in Boston. But I saw a post on the New York Post, right, where he said Juan Soto is very, very glum inside the Mets clubhouse. And then he says Juan Soto is very glum around the Mets clubhouse, and he wanted to return to the Yankees last offseason before signing a historic 15-year, $765 million contract with the Mets. Now, here's my thing. Unless he's close to somebody with Juan Soto, unless he's had conversations with somebody that's close to Juan Soto, or if he maybe had conversations with Juan Soto himself, my thing is this. I don't think anybody in that Mets clubhouse, unless I'm wrong, I don't think anybody in that Mets clubhouse is leaking information to you. If, like I said, unless you know somebody that is close to Juan Soto or you spoke to Juan Soto directly and he told you this, that's a different story. But here's where I look at it, because I hear people say, well, he did it for his family. He did it for his family because of what the Yankees weren't allowing to do. To me, it's my contract. It's the money that is being given to me, and you have to understand, yes, I'm getting my money, but I also want to be happy where I'm being played at. And you know what? As of right now, he doesn't look happy. But who's to say that he's not happy because of the struggles that he's dealing with on the field? We're seeing a lot of questionable at bats and a lot of questionable takes and hacks from Juan Soto right now that he's never done. We I literally call this man one of the greatest IQ baseball players in the game right now. Since I saw him in 2019. I mean, he debuted in 2018, but he really took off in 2019. That's where he made a name for himself. That's where he put himself at the top of the food chain in terms of superstardom in baseball. When he did what he did in the postseason for the Nationals and got them their very first franchise World Series, right? So people want to have their opinions, people want to speculate, and it's okay. As somebody that watches the game day in and day out, and all I do is watch and study and all that. At the end of the day, you don't know what this man is thinking. Now, yes, at the end of the day, he knows what he did in the Bronx last year. He was a 1 year rental, a 1 year rental, and he got them to where he got them to a World Series, to a World fucking Series. They probably would have not gotten there if it wasn't for Juan Soto. They probably who knows? They probably would have got bounced out the first or second round. Maybe Cleveland would have put up a better fight if it was not for Juan Soto. Do y'all remember that 3-run shot that he hit in the ninth inning? I mean, they were still up in the series, right? But who knows how that series goes if he didn't hit that home run? Now, this is no attack to Yankee fans. This is no attack to Yankee, people that I know, right? Because even though I'm a Mets fan, I still have Yankee fans that I talk to and respect. There are logical Yankee fans out there. There are logical Yankee fans out there that, you know, are respected and know their shit. But at the same time, there are people out here that are making this shit very, very uncomfortable to watch. And it's not listen, like I said, Juan Soto has had some very, very questionable at bats since he's been a New York Met, right? But at the same time, we know what he's capable of. We know that listen, he's on a new team, he's on a brand new contract, a historic contract at that. He understands that there's a lot of pressure on him. I will cut him slack. I will cut him slack. I can still hold him accountable, but I can cut him slack for the pressure and having to get used to things. I understand it. I totally get it. I totally understand it. But I think people are kind of twisting a lot of these situations. Now, while I say that, when it comes to what I said about the accountability part, yes, he has to be held accountable. Decision makings at the plate, him not hustling to first base in the third game of the Subway Series when he hit that grounder to second base. And I forgot who was playing second at the time, but old boy had to make that diving catch, and he's just there jogging. He's there jogging. Now they asked him about it because then it happened yesterday in the first game against Boston. He hit an opposite field shot off the wall, thought it was a home run because usually when he hits a bomb or he hits a home run that he knows it's out, he stands there, he stares at it for a second. He thought it was going to the green over the green monster into the seats, and he stared at it, and it hit off the wall. And instead of him being at second, usually when you hit a ball off the wall like that, you get a second, depending on how hard it's hit. He was still at first base, and again, he made up for it in that moment because he took a stolen base. But as we know, the New York Mets are never, never easy when it comes to scoring runners in scoring position. They had an opportunity right there to change the game with Juan Soto at second. Didn't happen, didn't cash in. But he made up for the lack of hustle in that hit by taking second. So I give him that. But when a reporter comes to you and asks you about, your lack of hustle, and he says, "Well, I feel like I feel like I've been hustling." You watch the games, you can see that I'm hustling. And that's me paraphrasing. To me, that's like, dude, they're asking you that for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't as much as we question a lot of these reporters, especially Met reporters, They're asking you for a reason. It's because you didn't hustle out. You didn't hustle out. As much as, like I said, I'm gonna cut you a little bit of slack for what happened yesterday in Boston, because you have done that in the past where you hit a ball and you're like, oh yeah, that's gone. And you stare at it for a couple seconds and then you jog. That hustle, brother, hustle. Beat that out. Try to beat it out in second. You know what I'm saying? But then, but the one where you really have to hold them accountable is in Yankee Stadium in that third game. You hit that grounder, and it wasn't an easy grounder. He had to go get that. And me, knowing that he has to go get that, I'm toughing that out because what if in the transition of the throw he drops the ball? You just beat out a fucking grounder because of your hustle. And it's not even that. Even if he hustled. Even if he made the play, excuse me, the second baseman made the play. I'm still there's a way to play the game and there's a way to play the game right. I'm hustling on all accounts. That's what you're taught since Little League. Hustle on every play. That's the respect of the game. And I'm not saying Juan Soto doesn't have respect for the game. The brother has done everything that he has done to earn himself the position that he's in. But when people hold you accountable for that, it's because they know what the game is about. They know what you have to do. Me personally, and I know I don't hold no weight on any of that, but with me, I get pissed off when I see shit like that. And that's why I tweeted what I tweeted. I'll go back to my tweet, as a matter of fact, because I want people to understand that, listen, if at the end of the day, yes, we do love him, and I just want to say, and I also want to say this, you know, Met fans are not giving you I don't think Met fans have really given Juan Soto shit. They've appreciated him. They've they've done what they've been able to. Excuse me. They've done what they've been able to do to support him, to make to make him feel welcome. I mean, you go to City Field, almost every game there's somebody in right field with a Dominican flag to make him feel like he's one of ours, which he is. You know what I'm saying? We thank you for choosing us because he easily could have taken that 760 that the Yankees offered him, and he could have went back to the Yankees, which we all thought, but not everybody, but certain people that I talk to on X and that I'm in group chats with, we said, yo, he looks like he's genuinely happy as a Yankee. He's going back to the Yankees. So when he signed with us, yo, we were fucking pumped. We were like, yo, what the fuck? I didn't care about the contract that he got. See, at the end of the day, he's a baseball player. He still has to perform. And I don't care about, oh, he's robbing us money. It's not my money. It's not my fucking money. It's not my fucking money. It's his money. He has to earn it. And obviously so far he really had, it's too early to tell. He hasn't really shown anything crazy, but he hasn't I can't say, yeah, that the contract is looking bad so far. Only 2 months in, man. Only 2 months into the fucking season. And you're gonna tell me that his contract hasn't been worth it? His contract has been bad? Again, I'm not gonna shout out those people that made that comment because I think a lot of Met fans and a lot of Yankee fans that listen to that radio station are hearing people that don't talk about don't have honest conversations about baseball. What they do is they try to create narratives for clicks, and that's the shit that's not right. Content creators like me, content creators like other people that do Met content, like Anthony from Subway to Shea, like Ibby and John from Till Mets Do Us Part, from fucking Mets Weekly. Shout out to my guys Carson, to my guy Carson and Frankie. You know what I'm saying? And Rhino. Like those are content creators that will literally have baseball conversations and not try to throw narratives out there for fucking views and clicks. Their views that they get and their numbers that they draw are organic and authentic because it's coming from people that just want to hear baseball conversations. That radio station, they don't fucking. That's not what they do. I'm not gonna. Here's another thing too, because again, I don't mean to go into a rant about them. I'm trying to keep it about Juan Soto and you know and why I put what I put. But a lot of certain radio stations have people that, for example, let's say let's say fucking Francisco Lindor, right? Or David Wright. David Wright gets an offer from a radio station. Hey, we want to have you on this show every day from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. an hour show. And we want you, we're obviously going to have you talk about the Mets, baseball, but we want to have you talk about football. We want to have you talk about hockey. Now, I'm not saying David Wright doesn't know about hockey. I'm not saying David Wright doesn't know about football. But there are guys that know about their sport that they've played in other sports, and there are guys that really don't know about the actual sport and can't break down the actual game and just want to go out there and just spew regular bullshit that real baseball heads don't talk about. And that's the shit that pisses me off. There are people that play other sports that have not played baseball in their fucking lives that are giving ridiculous takes that it's just like, why are y'all allowing this? And again, it's for clicks. It's for reaction. It's not about to have a real conversation about the fucking sport. So, Juan Soto's getting a very bad rep in terms of the contract. He does still need to perform better 100%. I'll dive in to his baseball numbers real quick. I'll go to the MLB.com, and as you see it right here, look at his regular season stats, right? 171 at bats, 33 runs, 42 hits, 8 home runs, 20 RBIs, 6 stolen bases. Average is 246. Could be better with an OPB of .376 and an OPS of 815. So the OPS is where it should be, or even higher if it needs to be. The average needs to be up a little bit better. I would say the home runs could be up a little bit better. We're still, like I said, 2 months in. I could still see him hitting, 25 home runs, 25 plus. The RBIs, 20 RBIs for the first 2 months. I'll take it. I'm not upset about that. But you look at his last couple games. Look, his last 30 games, he had 111 at bats, drove in 19 runs, had 27 hits, had 5 home runs, 13 RBIs. He had 23 walks, which is phenomenal. 24 strikeouts though. Striking out a lot. And that's the question mark. 5 stolen bases. You look at his last 15 games, 56 at bats, 10 runs, 13 hits, 3 home runs, 6 RBIs, 13 walks, 13 stolen bases. So the stolen base again, high stolen base count. No, 13 strikeouts. I'm sorry, excuse me. 13 strikeouts. So still a high strikeout number. His walk and strikeout numbers are pretty much the same, man. 4 stolen bases, right? And then you look at his last 7 games. If you look at the average between the last 30 and 15, 243, then it drops to 232. Then if you look at the last 7 games, his average drops to 167. You know what I'm saying? He's slugging, his slugging numbers are the same numbers as his average. You look at it right now, it's 24 at bats, 3 runs, 4 hits, zero home runs, 1 RBI, 7 walks, six stolen bases, and 4 strikeouts. He's not his at bats have not been consistent, and I think that's the I wouldn't say concerning thing, but you have to have an eye opener for these things. So there is a lot to hold him accountable for in terms of that. But all the outside bullshit, man, I'm not getting into any of that. I mean, you want to go back to what he did in April. Let's go back to what he did in April. I'll put that up. I will put that up for y'all. Let me see if I can. Okay, yeah. Look what he's doing. Look how he fit. Look at April, right? So these are legitimately, yeah, right here. So here we go. So he finished the month of April with a 232 batting average. He had 19 hits. Well, no, 19 runs. He drove 23. He had 23 hits. I believe this is I don't know what this is. Okay. Yeah, he had five home runs. Like the numbers speak for itself. He didn't have a crazy April, right? As of May right now, he's batting 254. It's not great, not great for the first 2 months. And that's just again holding him accountable, knowing that he could be better, knowing that he's not that type of player that people think he is. People expect so much of him because of the contract, and I think that's just straight whack. Yes, he is Juan Soto. Yes, he needs to do better. Yes, he needs to provide because nobody is providing in this lineup. Francisco Lindor struggling. Pete Alonso's gotten a little bit cold. Brandon Nimmo has been fucking cold. Mark Vientos has been hitting a little bit, but not at a consistent rate that you want to see him hit. Fucking Francisco Alvarez needs to be benched, and Luis Torrens needs to be playing a little bit more because Francisco Alvarez right now is stinking the joint. And yes, I love the kid. I think he has a lot of potential, but right now he's not showing anything right now. So, Juan Soto, he needs to be that. He needs to be that starter. And when I say starter, I mean that energizer. You have Francisco Lindor as your leadoff hitter. You need Francisco Lindor, and you need Juan Soto, and you need Pete Alonso to be the guys that start the vibes for you in every game. And it's not gonna always happen every game. But this is a guy that needs to start getting comfortable little by little. And I think we'll see it. You just gotta give him time. Look at what happened with Carlos Beltran when he first came to the Mets. He was struggling and they fucking booed him. Look at what happened for Francisco Lindor when he got traded to the Mets. His first year in 2021, he got booed. Why? Because he was struggling and people wanted him to get hot quick. It's the same fucking shit with Juan Soto. At the end of the day, it's like I said before. Juan Soto knew what he was doing when he signed that contract. Juan Soto understands that, listen, as much as I'm making my family happy because part of that played into the decision why I signed here, I'm making myself happy. You know what I'm saying? I don't think if Juan Soto didn't want to play here, he would have taken that. I think he would have been like, "Listen, I'm gonna take the 760. It's a little less than what the Mets are offering me, but I'm gonna stick with the Yankees. I'm gonna work that shit out with my fam. I'm little by little, but I want to play here. I want to be with my guys. If that was the case, I'm not saying that is. I'm just saying if that was the case. And if the case is he doesn't want to be here because he feels like he's better somewhere else, request a trade, brother. Request a trade because yes, that contract is ridiculously big, but I'm sure a team is gonna take you because you're still in your prime, bro. And any contending team, I guarantee you the fucking Dodgers will take him. If he comes out today and says I'm requesting a trade, if Scott Boras comes out and says yes, Juan Soto is requesting a trade, the Dodgers are gonna call him up and be like, "Hey, yo, what y'all want? What y'all want? Because we'll take them. We will gladly take them." So I don't think that's the case. I think people need to shut the fuck up. Yes, has he been struggling the past 2 months? Absolutely. And he has been meh. He has not been May, right? He has not been May flowers. He has not. He absolutely has not. But again, this shit takes time. This shit absolutely takes time. Baseball is a game of rhythm and consistency, and it takes time for you to get in rhythm. It takes time for you to get to find your consistency. I know it firsthand. I've played the game. I'm not at a level like that, but I've played enough to understand that it takes time for you to find your rhythm. Some guys find it early, some guys find it later on. You look at fucking Lindor. Lindor, it would take Lindor 2 months before we get into June for him to start getting hot. And that wasn't really the case this year. But look at Pete. Pete was scorching hot in April. May, he's kind of cooled down so far. It's just the way the game is. And people have to understand that and stop taking the fucking money and putting it in front of everything. Stop that, man. Stop that. At the end of the day, Juan Soto's a grown ass man. Juan Soto, if he wants to leave, he could fucking leave. Because I'm sure this fan base and I'm sure Steve Cohen, look what he did with Jorge Lopez. And I'm not putting Jorge Lopez on Juan Soto's level, but look what he did. Jorge Lopez acted up, you're off my team, bro. So you think he won't? You think if he doesn't have a good conversation with Juan Soto, you think he's not gonna tell Juan Soto, "Hey, bro, you want to go, you could go. I'll take my time trying to find this good, suitable place for you." But that is not the case. At least I would hope. I would think that Juan Soto wants to be here. Juan Soto's happy to be here, and he's just having that emotion because he's struggling. And it doesn't help that these fucking reporters keep asking him or are attempting to ask him about Aaron Judge and the fucking Yankees. I see this report this report right here, right? Where it says I can't even say that word, so I'm not even gonna say it. The Mets are concerned about Juan Soto's lack of enthusiasm. Soto agreed to be mic'd up during Sunday's game, but changed his mind because he's tired of answering questions about Aaron Judge and why he chose the Mets. Then he bailed out on reporters after the loss. People are upset about that, and honestly, I'm not upset about that. I am not upset about that, and I'm gonna tell you why. I'm not upset about that because of the fact that Juan Soto, again, it could be tired about fucking telling motherfuckers why he went to the Mets. He's here. Why does he have to keep repeating the same shit? You want to know why he chose the Mets? You go back to his introductory press conference. That's it. That's all you can do. That's all you can do. And it's ESPN's bullshit. Always trying to just dumb shit. I'm glad he avoided that. I'm honestly like Juan Soto, I'm glad you said no to that. I'm glad you did. Because they're all gonna keep talking about the Yankees, 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 and it's just like he was there for 1 year. That's it. That's it. Y'all don't gotta keep asking him about that, man. And I'm sure Aaron Judge is sick about fucking them asking about fucking Juan Soto too. Like, bro, enough is enough, dude. So, while I do hold him accountable for his lack of hustle and his inconsistencies at the plate, I gotta cut him some slack, dude. It's only been 2 months. Y'all motherfuckers act like he's been here for 5 seasons and he's still doing the same shit. Grow the fuck up, dude. Grow up. At the end of the day, he still got time to revamp himself. And yes, like I said, you can hold him accountable because that's what you are allowed to do, and that's what we should do. Because right now, his numbers and the way that he's playing right now, and especially his hitting, it hasn't shown up. But as Met fans, we will continue to support and we will continue to stand next and behind Juan Soto and hope that he gets in some momentum rhythm because he is a special fucking player. He's in his prime. He is the best player, one of the best player. I should say in baseball, and any team would kill to have him. So he's here. Let's enjoy him and let's fucking support him, man. Everybody got to stop fucking stop with his negativity and get that shit out. Stop being like the regulars. Stop being like the fucking narrative people that just want their narratives out there for fucking interaction. Stop with that. But other than that, man, like I said, let's continue to support Juan Soto. We got a game tonight at 6:45. So I'm excited for that. This video will be out right away. So I appreciate y'all, man. Please, like I always tell y'all, like, follow, share, and subscribe. And I will be back with you. I will be back with you guys on a new video. But until then, man, I hope you have a good day. Peace out, and I'll check you.